It is your Classic Metal Show right here on the ClassicMetalShow.com. That is Fastway from the Trick or Treat soundtrack, and that is the title track there, Trick or Treat. And kicking off the show tonight, we heard Megadeth from the So Far, So Good, So What release, Within My Darkest Hour. And unfortunately, it is that time of year where it is the darkest hour, and it's going to be time to change the clocks back. And a guy who hates it just as much as I do, coming to the mic, is my good friend and partner, Chris Aiken. What's going on, Chris?
Yeah, I'm not looking forward to the time change tonight at all.
Yeah, neither am I.
Fucking sucks.
I just wish they would just do away with that.
It's so fucking stupid.
It does. It is stupid.
Just dumb. There's no reason.
I agree.
I hate it, but whatever. All it's going to do is actually... Now, tonight, like right now, it's 9 o'clock here, so that means that tomorrow this would be 8 o'clock. Is that right?
Yes, it'll be an hour earlier.
All right, so I'm actually okay with this one because I'll get an extra hour of sleep and still catch the morning football since they're in Europe or somewhere tomorrow playing football. So I'll be able to catch the morning game at 9:30 because that'll really be 10:30, and I'll be up by then.
Right. Well, you sound like your normal self again now.
Do I?
Yeah.
You mean after you came over here and just motherfucked me for an hour and a half under your breath?
Well, you got your radio voice back.
Dude, it was the best. You're over here, and I just could feel the fucking anger. You're just here going. You're not saying shit. Me, Sal, and me and Sal, I guess, we're just sitting on the side here talking, and Randy, and I could just feel you going. This motherfucker never fucking takes care of anything. This fucking cocksucker didn't fucking keep the cords the way I did. Doesn't have them rolled up. Doesn't have them bundled. Nothing. This fucking asshole.
Got to keep it orderly, man.
Well, it works.
It works now.
Yeah. Well, as long as I don't touch anything, it'll stay orderly.
Yeah, stop touching shit.
I ain't touching it. Believe me, I'm not touching anything. The only thing I'm going to touch is my volume on my headphones, up and down. That's it. I will touch nothing else.
Yeah. Well, anyway, everything's back to normal. You sound fine. You sound great. Everything seems to be working well, so that's the end goal.
Yep. I forgot all the way until today to plug in the camera, but I plugged it in. Worked the right way first time. I actually made sure it was on the right mic channel so we didn't get that hollow bullshit that we always get when we plug in a new camera. Everything's working. This is good.
Yeah.
I'm glad to be back. I know this is probably shocking as much as I say that I fucking hate the fans and hate doing the show and whatever, but I love doing remote shit. But I'm definitely glad. 3 weeks. This is when maybe we should do the show once every 3 weeks.
It's a once a month show, or once. How would you say it? It's like every third week.
Tri-weekly or something.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, because this is perfect. I got a good. I don't want to say rest because I certainly didn't get any rest, but I got a good little minute away from CMS where I didn't have to stay up till fucking God knows what hour of the morning. And now I'm ready to do it again.
Yeah.
Pumped up, full of coffee, ready to go.
All right. Well, as most, if not all of you are aware, we were away for 2 weeks. We did provide you with a show, though, for 2 weeks, even though we were away. And 2 weeks ago, we provided the CMS subscription people with 3 great segments. At least I thought they were really good.
We got a lot of good feedback from those segments. The people that I had quite a few emails that read. I'll just kind of paraphrase here, but they all were like, "This was fucking amazing, best you guys have done in a long time." About the soldier with the new dick segment.
Yeah, well, that was just fun.
That was a great segment, man.
It was funny. It was just, a lot of off the cuff jokes.
Yep.
I mean, dick jokes will always be funny. I don't care what political correct society we live in. Dick jokes will always be funny.
They're always funny, and it's even just you and I trying to dissect the the anatomy of replacing this guy's cock was just fucking hysterical.
Yeah, and with all the questions were answered.
Yeah.
So kudos to the person who actually wrote that article, because they covered all the bases.
Yeah, we asked questions, and then a little later we found answers. It was great.
It was fantastic. And then, of course, I want to thank our good friends Billy Morris and Bob Nelbandian for stepping in and hanging out with us for at least an hour or more apiece.
Yeah, it was great.
And being very open and candid and just kind of letting loose and just being fun.
Did you ever think, as much as me and you both think that the Rock Hall is a joke, did you ever think we would do a 90 to 100-minute segment on the Rock Hall induction?
Well, I don't think I've ever heard Bob Nelbandian lose his shit the way he did at the very end of the end of the segment there, because it was like it was boiling and bubbling below the surface, and right at the end of the segment, he just let it loose.
He let loose a 10-minute rant. It was great.
So it's just the political correctness and the bullshit that we as, you know, music fans and people in general have to put up with every day just to satisfy the normies.
Right. Dude, yeah, I thought those segments were fantastic. You know, it's one of those times, and I'm not trying to sell the CMS TV. If you don't want it or can't afford it or whatever, that's cool. But I'm going to tell you straight up, we did 3 very solid segments for those that did subscribe. They definitely got their money's worth for this month anyway. Yeah. They got their $6 worth.
Yeah, absolutely. So, and then last week, Chris and I headed out to Cleveland, and we did a 6-hour plus show from the 78th Street studio. And boy, I'll tell you what, that was rapid fire interviewing we did there.
Dude, I told you this that night, and I'll say it on the show too. That was the first time in a long time I've just been truly tired from doing a show. I mean, I was mentally dead at the end of the show. I had nothing left.
Yeah. Well, you know, the thing is you did go out, you know, earlier in the week, and you didn't get home till 3:00 in the morning on, you know, Thursday morning, I guess it would be.
Right. Yeah.
And then, you know, trying to pick up with, you know, whatever you do work-wise, and, you know, getting prepped and whatnot. And, you know, of course, once we got to, you know, the 78th Street studio, we had to walk up 6 flights of stairs.
Yeah, that's not good for a fat guy. I'll just tell you straight up, first of all, I mean, on Wednesday when I went to the AEW thing in Pittsburgh, it's at this place called the Peterson Center or Peterson Arena or something like that. I don't remember what it's called, but something Peterson. And I don't know. I'm doubting you've ever been there.
No, I have not.
It's at the top of a fucking mountain. Like if you go to the top of whatever this mountain or hill is, they like cut a section out and flattened it and put the Peterson Center in it. And it's for Pitt. It's where Pitt plays basketball and stuff like that. Gorgeous arena when you can get to it. But it is definitely not fat guy friendly at all. It was we get there, there's nowhere to fucking park. Nowhere to park for this place. There's no parking garage on the building, nothing. Nowhere to put a car. So we ended up parking, I don't know, half a mile away or so, which, again, not fat guy friendly, but I can deal with a half mile. I can huff and puff my way a half mile and get to my seat and just collapse for a little bit, and then I'm good. But once we started walking from where we were parked, we hit these steps, and it was just down, 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 down. It was well over 250 fucking steps down at a hard angle, and my fucking fat guy unappreciated knees just taking that beating as I kept going down and down and down and down and down. I got to the bottom of them steps. I was like, fuck this. I literally, we got to the bottom. Fine, we get to the bottom. It took like 20 minutes to get to the bottom of these fucking steps. Get to the bottom of these fucking steps, walk up to the door. The door, of course, is locked. AJ, who was with us, John's brother AJ, knocks on the door, and the lady comes over and says, no, you have to go up 3 flights of these steps to get in over here. And I was like, fuck this. I literally, I was so gassed at that point. I was like, you know what? You guys go enjoy the fucking show. I'll just sit out here. Fuck it. I don't even care. I'm not going up 3 more flights of steps to get into this place. I will fucking die. And then luckily we were able to talk the lady into letting me in so I could just fucking ride the escalator and get over to the ticket window to check my tickets. And she let us in through the door. She just looked at me and was like, oh, he's going to fucking have a stroke.
Right.
But it was weird because she let me in, but she didn't let my son or my friends in. They had to go walk the steps, but she was like, oh, the fat guy can come in. So they had to walk the steps and walk around, but I just kind of rode the escalator. And then it was funny because I get to the top, and I was breathing hard. I ain't going to lie, dude. I was dying. And the guy in there is like, we get to the top of the escalator, and he waves down another guy. He's like, hey, Charlie, get this man a wheelchair. I was like, hey, I don't need a wheelchair, dude. I'm okay. I just can't do these fucking steps, you know. And he was like, are you sure? Are you sure? Because now that he's let me in, I think he was afraid I was going to die.
Right, of course.
You know? So he's trying to get me to get in a wheelchair. I'm like, I'm not getting in a wheelchair. I'm fine. I just couldn't do those steps.
Right.
Fuck. You know, where's the wheelchair access? Forget the wheelchair. Where are you going to push me in a wheelchair?
Yep.
You know, I don't have fucking wheelchair tickets. I have fucking regular human people tickets.
Yeah, pal.
You know, it was an event, but the point is, after doing all those steps, by the time we got to Saturday, fuck that. My legs didn't want any more steps. Dude, I got there. I got to the 78th Street, and I met up with the guy, the owner of the place. Like, he was like, oh, are you one of the guys? And he was insisting on carrying shit up for me.
Right.
He's like, what do you have to load in? He kept saying load in. I was like, load in? I got a laptop.
Yeah. Well, this isn't a concert here.
Yeah. I was like, that's what I have. He's like, oh no, don't you have lighting gear? And I was like, no, I have a laptop. That's it. He's like, well, give me that laptop. Let me help you get that in there. All right. So he takes my laptop in, and I just looked up those steps, and I was like, oh, mother of fuck.
Yeah.
And as you saw, once I got upstairs, I wasn't going down for nothing.
Right.
I was going up them one time. I was going down them one time.
Yeah.
That was it.
Well, you know, I obviously was the one with the gear. And, you know, we had our good friend Sal there. He came in from Chicago, and you know, the building owner, he came down and he helped, and you know, Joe came down and he helped, and you know, carried all the mic stands and you know, all the mixing board and all that stuff up there. And you know, it took us about probably 90 minutes to get set up, you know, because we wanted to do it right. We did a 3-camera shoot.
Yeah, that was nice. Dude, it was funny when you guys were loading in. I did the total dick move. I waited till I knew everything was in, and then I said, hey, you guys need any help? I was like, I can't do these fucking steps.
Yeah. So, you know, we got things set up, and the mics tested, and the, you know, the audio and the recording and all that other stuff. And, boy, I'll tell you what, it turned out so good. I was very, very pleased at the quality of the audio that we got from the day, with all the guest mics and your mic and my mic, and you know, just the levels and the clarity, and you know, it turned out real well.
Yeah, I thought the audio was great. I thought the video was really good too, considering we were talking about shoestringing it with, you know, cameras literally just cameras flung onto laptops and stuff. It worked. I thought it worked out pretty good.
Yeah, it worked out well. The only thing that our camera work lacked was better lighting. You know, because we just had to deal with whatever lighting was in that room, and you know, some of what there were spotlights and a little bit bright on one side and dark on the other. And stuff.
Yeah, well, it's because we were underneath like a lighting harness.
Yeah.
So your like I guess I was directly under the light, and you were like in between the lights.
Yeah.
So a lot of the video is me just, you know, Caspered out, and you look like, you know, a guy walking the streets of Gary, Indiana.
Yeah, of course.
Shit.
Yeah. So, you know, if we do something like that in the future, which, you know, who knows, we'll definitely have to bring the ring lights.
Yeah.
You know, and even that lighting out, you know, if we're going to do some better quality video. But overall, for just winging it for the first time ever, it turned out real well. The guests turned out real well.
Stayed organized. That was the best part. You know, considering we had so many guests, weren't you surprised at how orderly and organized that went?
Yeah, it went real well. I mean, you know, we were prepared with the music in between and a little banter, little chatter while people got themselves situated in a seat and, you know, got in behind the mic. And, you know, the next time Sal comes out, I'm going to have to teach him how to position the mics for each guest when they sit down, because everybody's like talking away from the mic or they got the mic pointed upward. It's like,
yes.
Yeah, it's a
Sal set up the mic and then you'd be like, "Hey, Sicky, how you going?" "Hey, everything's good." You could barely hear him, but it was good. It was fun. I had a good time. I gotta thank especially Joe. I mean, Anastasia as well, but I know Joe did a lot of the back end work on this thing.
Yeah,
you know, getting the schedule together, and you know, he really kept the guests on time.
Yeah, that's good.
We did not. I don't think there was a single time, unless, correct me if I'm wrong, but there was not a single time that we were like looking around for a guest.
No, and not only that, but the fact that we did two phoners.
Yeah, we did two phoners as well.
We did two phoners on a wireless.
Yeah. Yeah, we dude, it was quite an event. I'm telling you, I was burned up at the end of it. I was so tired. But I thought it went well, and we did phoners, and we did all those interviews with a 3-camera shoot. All of that shit was new to us.
Well, you know, that's a tip of the hat to the being more technologically advanced in this day and age, because we certainly couldn't have done that, say, 10 years ago.
Oh, no, definitely not. Definitely. We couldn't have done any camera. We'd have done a 0-camera shoot like we always used to do, and even those were sketchy.
Yeah.
You know, this was like clockwork. It really worked well.
But then again, I think about, you know, some of the live events that we did way back in like 2006. You know, we did some live events, you know, 2005, 2006. We did the Metal Sludge Extravaganza, and we did some CMS Nights Out, and we actually streamed those live and recorded them and stuff. And shit, we did that, 13, 14 years ago.
We were way ahead of the curve.
We were. But the amount, you know, if you remember back when we were doing the live thing, remember the amount of equipment I had to have?
Oh, dude, it was like your whole back seat and your whole trunk.
Yeah, and I was able to bring everything in like 2 boxes this time. Yeah. A laptop, 2 boxes, and some mic stands, and we were good. Yep.
No, it was definitely great. Which one was it when I asked Mikey's grandmother if she ever gave a gummy blowjob?
Well, that was the 13th anniversary.
What a dick. And Mikey was how old at that point?
Well, you know, we're at 24, so that was 9 years ago, and I think Mikey's 21 now.
So he was what, 12 or whatever?
Yeah, 11 or 12.
Or 12, and I asked his grandmother if she ever gave a gummy blowjob. What a dick.
Yeah. So can you believe that we did the 13th anniversary show 11 years ago?
Dude, just seeing Mikey in general. Mikey was out at the 78th Street Studios, and I was like, I literally said to him, I said, I guess I can't call you Mikey anymore. You're just Mike.
Yeah.
You know, you're not special anymore at all. You're just another guy.
Well, I came into town on Thursday afternoon and hooked up with the Dokken boys.
Right.
And, you know, they played downtown Akron with Lita Ford at the Akron Civic Theater.
Right.
And, you know, Mikey Mikey and his new squeeze came out. And they were in front of house, and Mikey's texting me and stuff. And so he goes, yeah, well, we got tickets. We're sitting out here front of house, this, that, and the other. And, I hope to see you and all. And, then, of course, we were waiting on your arrival. And, of course, we're sitting, John Levin and I and Chris McCarville and BJ. We're all just kind of sitting in the dressing room, just shooting the shit and stuff. And John goes, where's Chris? And I said, I don't know. And I said, he may be out in front. I don't know. And he goes, should I call him? And I said, you can call him. He goes, well, why isn't he back here with us? I said, I don't know, John. I said, I'm not his keeper. He goes, I'm going to call him. So he calls your phone, gets no answer.
Right.
And he goes, well, where do you think he is? John, I don't know. I don't know where he is. He said he'd be here. That's all I know.
Dude, I was so tired from Wednesday, from the AEW thing, because I went to, on Wednesday, I got home about 3. I got home about 3 in the morning, and I had to get up at 6 because I had to get to work. I had a bunch of work to do because I was calling it, for me, a half day by quitting at like 5 o'clock to go and pick up Kelly and then go to the Dokken show. So Kelly calls me about 4 o'clock, and she's like, I think I'm gonna skip out on the Dokken show. She was tired or whatever. And I was like, okay, cool. So in my head, I had the idea. I was like, all right, because normally I would have to go pick her up because she lives like 20 minutes from me. And then that's how far is where where she lives.
Yeah.
How long is it from where she lives to Akron?
20 minutes. 20? Yeah, 20 minutes.
Yeah. So in my head, I was like, I've got 45 to an hour extra time now. So I was like, I'm fucking exhausted. I'm just going to lay down and take a nap. I'm going to take a quick nap, maybe get an hour. Then I'll have enough juice to make it through the fucking show. That was my thought because I was dying tired. And so I laid down. I turned my phone off because that's always the caveat to me taking a nap is my phone never stops ringing. And you saw that when we were together at Tom Keifer. My phone is always blinking off or ringing or whatever. So I turned the phone off, and I was like, all right. I set my alarm, my little Google alarm, for 1 hour. Thinking 6 o'clock, get up, jump in the shower, jump out in the car. I'm there, 7:30, 8 o'clock. And if I miss Lita Ford, that really is too bad, because I'm not a Lita fan. So I was just like, okay, this timing is going to be perfect. I wake up, I look at my fucking phone. There's texts from you. There's like a phone call from John and a text from John. And I'm like, what the fuck? I'm like, what happened? It was 10:30 or 10:45 or something.
Yeah, they were already halfway through the set.
I slept for like 5 hours. I just passed the fuck out. And then by that point, I was like, oh, son of a bitch. Because now I'm the dick. And sure as shit, I see that John's calling or whatever. So I'm like, oh, man, I had him get me tickets and everything. And here I am not even showing up. What an asshole.
Yeah.
So I hit him up and, I apologize. He's like, oh, I get it, bro. Because he travels all the fucking time. He gets it. I know you said Don was like, well, he fucking lives in town. He can't even come out.
Well, he did. He after the show was over, we were all just kind of hanging out and, we were in the dressing room and getting a little after show eats and just sitting there. And he goes, Don looks at me and goes, hey, I thought Chris was coming out. And I said, well, I thought so too, but he fell asleep. He goes, he lives here in town, right? I said, yeah, he lives about 25 minutes away. And he goes, and he couldn't make it out?
Dude.
I was just like, I don't know what to tell you, Don. He goes, I thought he'd come out.
Well, I was going to. I fully planned to. Dude, I mean, you've seen me go to some shit. And if we're going to be honest, I didn't really want to go. I wanted to go specifically to hang out.
Yeah, and that's what we were doing.
Yeah, I really had no interest in actually watching the music. I really didn't. I've seen Dokken a million times, and I don't like Lita. So it wasn't like I wanted to go to the show, and I fully planned to go. I just fell asleep.
Yeah.
I just out of steam. I'm getting too old to be fucking running 100 miles an hour. You know, I hate to say it, and I don't know if you feel it this way or not, but I can't do it anymore. You know, I was still tired from Tom Keifer Day, the week before, the Saturday before, by Wednesday. I mean, I was okay, but I was tired. You know, the Tom Keifer was an all-day event. That was you know, we had to be down at Tom Keifer for sound check at 2:00, and then we were there till what, midnight or something?
Yeah.
You know, that was a long day, and it took me a couple days to not be tired from that.
Yeah.
And then the AEW thing where I worked a day, drove to Pittsburgh, saw that event, drove home, and then turned back around. I was like, motherfuck. You know, I was tired. And I was still going to go to Dokken, and then it was like, I'm asleep.
Yeah.
And even if I would have woke up an hour before, I would have still come. If I'd have woke up at like 9:30 or something, I would have jumped in my car and just come and had some dinner or something with you guys after.
Yeah. Well, they didn't even go on stage till like 9 or 9:15. So yeah, it was 9:15.
Yeah. So if I would have woke up at like 9:30, I'd have been, I would have still had to run through the water. So I'd have been out my door at 10. I'd have got there right when they were, doing the encore.
Right.
And then all right, perfect timing. I mean, that's terrible that I missed the set.
Yeah. So, getting back to Mikey, he was out there and texting me and stuff. And so after the show was over, I went out front of the house right away, and I thought, I'll just grab Mikey and bring him back.
Right.
Gone. Yeah, just left. He just took off.
Really?
Yeah. So I didn't see him at the show. I'm like, where did you go? Oh, dude, we left. It's been a long day. I'm tired. We had to leave. Just like, all right. So I went back and hung out with the guys, and we got into me and Chris McCarville. Chris was, recovered now from his being all busted up.
Right.
And we were talking about cars and stuff, and he's like, yeah, you got that Camaro Super Sport, yeah? And I said, yeah. He says, what year is it? I said, it's in 18. He goes, he was asking me all kinds of questions. I said, well, Chris, it's in the parking lot. He goes, well, where is it? I said, it's at the hotel. He goes, oh. I said, you can drive it.
Nice.
And he goes, yeah, let's do that. I said, well, when we get back, I'll let you drive it. So we pulled back into the hotel about midnight.
Okay.
And he goes, well, let me run in and throw my gig case inside my base and stuff, and I'll be right back out, Sure. So I got the car and pulled it up around, to the entrance of the hotel, and Chris got in, and I'm from that area there. I literally used to live. We stayed at the Hilton Garden, which is right next to the Goodyear Theater, where we went to see Tom Keifer the week before.
Right. Mm-hmm.
And I used to live on Mogador Road. You'd been to my apartment one time, so I only lived like a mile and a half from there at one point. Right. So I know the area pretty well. So he says, so where should we go? I said, just pull out of the parking lot. I said, we'll go up on 76, Interstate 76.
Right.
And you can take off from there. And he goes, oh, so we get in the car and we cruise on down to the on-ramp. And I said, well, whatever you want to do, just hit it. He gets on that throttle on the on-ramp. He goes, there's no speed limits on on-ramps, are there?
What?
Well, there isn't. I mean, there is, but there isn't. There's no marking on an on-ramp for speed limit, right? So he took it up over 100.
On the on-ramp?
On the on-ramp, getting onto 76 eastbound.
Oh, shit.
And we were just blowing down through there at it was like 12:15, almost 12:30 at night.
Nice.
And so he goes, my goddamn. He's like, this thing got some balls. And so we were just roaring along there, and up ahead was a Mustang. He goes, that's a Mustang up there, isn't it? I go, yeah. Just as we get up there, he just wraps that throttle and boom.
Nice.
So we just went up to the next off ramp and got off and looped back around and went back to the hotel. But
nice.
it was a lot of fun.
Nice. Oh, that's funny.
Yeah, so we were out there. We were just out there churning and burning on the interstate at midnight.
Amazing that you didn't get stopped at midnight down there. 'Cause that's Cop Haven.
Yeah. We were out toward Mogador, so, you know.
Okay. Yeah, you might have been past the riffraff that's downtown.
Yeah. We were east of that, so it wasn't an issue. But anyway, so the next day, Mikey says, "Hey, what are you doing?" I said,
Right.
"Well, I'm just kind of hanging out around the hotel today. You know, I got up in the morning to see the guys off to Wilkes-Barre. They went over to where Kendall lives."
Right.
And they were playing their last show of the year, so I'd gotten up earlier in the day to see everybody off and, you know, whatnot. And Mikey says, well, we don't have classes today here at the law school. You want to come down and I'll give you the tour of the Akron University Law School.
All right.
So I said, okay, well, we'll meet up. We'll have some lunch. We'll check out the law school, whatnot. So I met up with Mikey, and he showed me around the law school over there. It's fairly new. It's a new division or new wing of Akron University.
Sure.
And he showed me around all the classes in the law library and, you know, all that stuff. And they have a mock courtroom over there.
Okay.
So I had to do my best my cousin Vinny impression over there.
How'd you get about? You got behind the desk?
Mr. Gambini, stand up. What are you weighing?
Nice.
You know, so he showed me around. It was pretty cool. You know, he's really stoked about going to school there. So it was cool. They were in the class. They don't have law school on Friday.
Okay.
And so there was nobody there. So he just showed me around all the work, you know, the labs and stuff, which was cool.
Yeah.
And then we took a walk down to a sports bar down the street there and went and had some lunch and shot the shit for a while and hung out, you know, and just talked and whatnot. And then I did some radio interviews, you know, for the 78th Street Raining Rock thing with Bill Peters.
Right.
So I did a little thing with him for about 15 minutes, and then I went down to the bar. And there was some guy, he was the only guy sitting at the bar, and I sat up there at the bar to have a couple cocktails, you know, and this guy starts talking to me. He says, you look like some rock star I should know. Should I know who you are? I said, no, I'm just hanging out here, you know. So we got into the whole discussion and about music and stuff. Big 80s rock guy, you know, love the 80s music, you know.
And then he goes, hey, is Dokken still around?
Well, he didn't even realize they were there. And I said, yeah, they were just here. They left this morning along with Lita Ford, you know, and that's got into the whole conversation. And then he goes, well, what do you do? What's your connection? You know, so I was telling him about the show. So he went and downloaded the app.
Okay.
You know, so he goes, I'm going to check this out.
Oh, good.
You know, he goes, I'm going to buy you a drink.
Right.
Because I'm sitting right next to a celebrity.
Oh,
just like, all right, take it easy. So I sat there shooting the shit with him and the bartender for a while, but it was a lot of fun. And then, you know, Saturday I had to get up early and drive up to Cleveland and meet up with you and get set up and did the whole thing.
Nah, dude, that getting up early doesn't work for me anymore. You know, I hate to say it because I generally during the week I get up. I've gotten later. It used to be that I was always up by like 6:30, but I'm starting to creep later and later to where it's like 8:30, 9 o'clock these days. You know, and I mean I stay up till 4 a.m. most days, so it's not like I'm, you know, it's not like well I'm just working half days or anything. I'm just starting a little later. Getting up and trying to get my shit together to get out of the house by like 9:30 was a major chore for me.
Yeah, I would imagine.
I was like, and I got up on time. I got up at 8 o'clock in the morning, you know, thinking, okay, that's plenty of time to grab a shower, to fucking, you know, get all my gear packed up. And I had all my gear packed up ahead of time. I had my laptop and everything put together. You know, I was ready to go. But man, I just got up and then all of a sudden it was like, I really can't function. I got to drink coffee. So then I got a cup of coffee And I went back. I took the coffee in the bedroom and laid back down. I was like, I can't do this.
Yeah.
I'm too old for this shit to be up and doing stuff on my day off. And not that I ever take a day off, but my sort of day off.
Yeah.
You know, CMS day is kind of a day off. It's usually my day to, you know, watch some TV and veg out a little bit before getting ready to do this.
Yeah. Well, you know, I was in town the week before. I came in on Friday, Friday. And, you know, I drove after work and got into town about like 10 o'clock.
Right.
Then I had to get up and go to a wedding. So the wedding was at like 10 o'clock or 10:30 in the morning.
Fuck.
And I had to drive up to Paynesville, which was about an hour from where I was staying.
Right.
And then I left the wedding around 3. Then I went out to Fairlawn with my sister and brother-in-law, and we went out and had some drinks and, you know, some appetizers. And then I met up with you.
Right.
And went to Tom Keifer.
Yeah.
And then back to the hotel, and then get up in the morning and go visit with my dad, and then drive back to Chicago. And then, you know, I was back on the road Thursday morning, back to Akron, doing the whole thing all over again.
Yeah, that's more than I would ever be willing to do. Look, I wasn't even able to turn from a Wednesday to a Thursday, you know, let alone 500 miles in between.
Yeah.
Fuck that.
Yeah, it's like $350 each way. So within a week there, I logged in about 1,400 miles.
That's about how much I've got this year on my car. I can't, you know, and I'm not trying to say like, you know, I'm being a pussy or anything. This was a busy, you know, 2 weeks. In 2 weeks, I went to Keifer, spent a full day at Keifer, basically a full day with the AEW thing, the full day with you, and then last night I was out again. So, you know, I know that doesn't seem like a lot to some of our 20-year-olds. Well, it probably does, since all they do is fucking sit in front of their video games. But, you know, dude, I'm fucking 51 years old. I'm tired now. I'm supposed to be slowing down a little bit.
Yeah, you're old.
I am old, man. Dude, that was the best part of my whole fucking weekend was my birthday itself, which was Sunday, because I didn't do shit. I mean, nothing. I to the point that I yanked a laptop onto the bed so that I could edit those fucking videos. I did not get out of bed for the whole day Sunday. I just sat, watched football, and edited video, you know, while laying on my back. I was like, fuck this. I'm tired.
Well, getting back to the Keifer show.
Yeah.
Our good friend Billy Morris opened up the show.
Yes.
And he was sporting the CMS shirt proudly on stage and rocking out. Did a great show. Did all originals, you know, aside from the very last song of the set.
Right.
You know, where he played a Warrant song dedicated to the memory of Janie Lane.
Right.
But his set was high energy and rocking out.
Yeah,
You know,
he was great.
He was having a great time up there, and the crowd seemed to really dig his show, even though they probably didn't know any of the songs.
Yeah, no, it was good.
You
I
know,
thought it was really...
And then our good friend Chips Enough with his version of Enough's Enough played, and you know, Chip is singing now. He's the lead singer now.
Yeah,
and you know, he's up there just doing his thing, and they put on a real good show as well.
Mm-hmm.
And then, of course, Tom Keifer came on, and, you know, I'm going to criticize Tom Keifer's band. Not so much his band, but his wife and that other chick who are the lead singers.
Yeah.
I have never seen such lazy chicks in all my life.
You kept saying that all during the show.
Oh, my God. I mean, I was sitting next to John, and I kept saying to him, I said, watch Tom's wife and that other chick, the backup singers.
Yeah.
They are the laziest fucks on stage I've ever seen. just going through the motions, acting like they're bored, acting like they could care less. You know, just lazily doing their backup vocals and stuff. Just like, it's like, whatever. It's just another show. You know, Tom's out there rocking out, you know, giving it his best, just, you know, doing all he can to just keep the crowd engage, and these two chicks are back there like slugs.
Yeah, just
they could care less, you know. They're shaking tambourines and maracas and stuff, and they're just like,
yeah, looking at their watch, seeing how much more time there is left.
It was just the worst, but you know, the show was good. The show was real good, and after Enough's Enough got off the stage, I haven't seen Chip in probably, well, I'm trying to think the last time I saw him.
Yeah,
it might have been a little over a year ago,
okay,
or so, maybe even 2 years by now. And so he was out in the foyer there. You had said to me, "Are you going to go back and talk to Chip?" Because I know you'd seen him earlier in the day.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And so, you know, a lot of people were just standing in line waiting to get photos or autographs or buy some shirts and stuff, you know. And I just kind of waited my turn, and I walked up. As soon as he seen me, big smile on his face, "Neeley, my brother!" And he comes over and puts his arm around me and just gives me a big hug, and he goes, "I've known you over 20 years. You don't age a day. You look exactly the same as when I met you. How do you do it?" I said, "Chip, believe me, I've aged." He goes, "You look exactly the same. You never age." So I was talking to Chip, and he goes, "Yeah," he says, I had to stop the drinking and smoking and all the fun stuff because, you know, I'm trying to make this band go, and, you know, I'm doing the front man thing, and I got to take care of myself, so I'm not doing any of the fun stuff anymore."
Right.
That's what he said.
Yeah, for sure.
So I said, "Well, Chip, you live 40 minutes from me. I never see you unless I got to travel somewhere, and then I see you, and you're 40 minutes from me." I said, "And I've been in this place for 14 years, and I can't get you to come down to the studio live. I'm going to come down in November. You can hold me to that. I'll be down in November. I'll drive down there and spend a CMS night with you guys."
Sounds like a plan, brother.
I'm not sure if that's Chip or Jack Frost.
Yeah, one of them.
But we'll see. He goes, "You still got my number, right?" I said, "Yeah, I have your number." He goes, "Well, let's make this happen."
Well, give him a call this week and make it happen.
Yeah.
You know, we should definitely do that. Give him a call this week and say, "Dude, let's go. How about next weekend?" But dude, he was so funny. We were, you know, he was hanging out, like you said, in the foyer, and like everybody was hanging around. It was like Tom Keifer was taking, this was way before the show. It was like the VIP thing. So he was hanging out, and Keifer was taking his pictures. So everybody, there's like a big line to take a picture with Tom Keifer. So everybody's in line, and I walk over to Chip, and he's same thing. He's like, "Oh my God, brother, I can't believe you're here." You know, big hug.
Yeah.
He's all happy to see us, you know, and Kelly was with me. He's like, "Is this your girl? I got to take a picture with her," you know. And so he pulls her over to take a picture and whatnot. So this guy and this girl come over to buy a T-shirt and a CD or something from Chip. And Chip just keeps right on talking to me, you know, and I see these people are waiting. So I looked at Chip and I said, "Hey, man, let me get out of your way, you know, let me get out of your way so that you can, you know, take care of business." He goes, "Fuck that, brother. You're royalty here, man. I'm going to talk to you instead."
You're royalty.
He said it twice. He goes, "You're royalty here."
Royalty.
And I was like, "No, I'm really not, dude. Do your business. I'll talk to you later," you know? And so he dealt with them, and then he came back over to me. It was like, "Oh, you know, we were just talking, shooting the shit." And you know, Chip's one of the best. Yeah. I don't care if you like Enough's Enough or not. Chip is one of the best guys in the business.
Yeah, you couldn't meet a nicer guy.
Nope, definitely not.
So seeing Chip was cool, and talking to him for a few minutes it's always fun, you know. And he always treats me just top notch all the time. "Oh, it's so good to see you. Come over here."
Yeah, he's great, man.
Yep,
dude. Were you there when I did the intro for Billy's band, or was that?
Yeah, I just walked in.
Dude, that was the most awkward intro I've ever done. I was, you know, it was last minute. First of all, we were upstairs. They had to for the VIP thing, they had like a dinner. It was a really nice dinner, actually. It was pretty good food. I will not lie. So we go and we're having dinner, and Billy walks in, and Billy comes over to me, and we're shooting the shit with Billy, and Billy, says to me, he goes, well, how come you're not introing my band tonight? And I was like, I don't know. I wasn't really asked, He's like, well, now you're doing it. You're going to intro the band. It's like, okay, cool. So we get in, we find our seats, and then Billy calls me and says, okay, come over to this door over here, and then I'll let you in to get into the back, the backstage area.
Mm-hmm.
So I go in the backstage area, and it's me, Billy's band, and Randy Earhart, the promoter.
Okay.
Who, dude, before we go any further, can we thank Randy enough or not? He is awesome.
Absolutely.
He's a great dude. But so we're there, and Randy says to me, he goes, okay, what's the game plan here? And I said, I don't know, dude. It's your show. Whatever you want to do. And he goes, okay, I'm going to go out here, and I'm going to do a few announcements, and then I'll introduce you, and then you can do whatever you got to do to get the crowd up on their feet and then introduce Billy. So I said, okay, sounds good. And, I've done this a million times. I know how to get the crowd going. But you didn't yell out, Pantera will be here any minute, did you? No, I didn't do that. But I did insult the crowd by saying, what is this, a fucking church sermon? Dude, they were so quiet when I got on the stage. It was silent. I was like, uh-oh, this is bad. But anyway, so we're back, and I'm trying, you've done this too. You're trying to formulate a couple of ideas in your head to engage the audience and get them on their feet and make them, know. The band comes and hits hard when they first come out. So I had all these ideas together, and I thought Randy was going to do, thanks for coming out. Just want to remind you that Artie Lang is going to be here in a couple of weeks. And
is he still alive?
Yeah, he's still alive. He's coming. Randy's booking it, I guess. But, I thought when he told me he was doing announcements, he was going to do those kind of announcements. He goes out on stage and literally says, in his own way, everything I was going to say. And I'm like, son of a bitch. He talks about Billy's time in Warrant and all the other bands. And, you might have seen him with Quiet Riot. You might have seen, and I'm like, uh-oh. And it got to be, he literally said everything I was ready to say. And then he goes, and here's our friend from the Classic Metal Show, Chris Aiken. And I'm like, son of a bitch.
Now I got nothing.
I had nothing. And I literally, I don't know if you saw it. I'll have to put the video up. I'm walking out on stage, and I'm literally saying to myself, what are you going to say? What are you going to say? What are you going to say? I had no idea. And I got up in front of that microphone. I grabbed the microphone. And I go, what's up, Akron? And
crickets.
Nothing. And I was like, son of a bitch. And then I was just like, well, fuck it. Now I'm just going to go for it. And that's when I went with what is this, a fucking church sermon? And then some people laughed in the front. And then I knew I sort of had them. So I said a couple of silly things. There was a part of me that was going to introduce him as Jerry Dixon and the Sunset Strip.
Oh, wow.
I was going to do that, but I wasn't sure how that would play.
Right.
I wasn't sure if because I think Randy works with the Warrant guys.
Okay.
And I didn't want to cause him a problem by me saying something. But that was going to be my hit, was just to fuck with Billy and say, hey, it's Jerry Dixon.
Right, of course.
And Warrant. Warrant was another one. I was going to say, here they are, Warrant, because those guys, always threaten Billy about Warrant.
Yeah.
So I thought about introducing them as Warrant. But then I just didn't. I just was like, all right, give it up. Give it up for Billy Morris and the Sunset Strip. But I how long was I on stage? Couldn't have been 20 seconds, was it?
It was just 30 seconds at the most.
Yeah. It was because I had nothing to say, because Randy said every fucking thing I was going to say.
That's funny.
It was fun. It was definitely fun. And I had a good time at that show. It was a long day, but a good time, if that makes any sense.
Well, we had a few cocktails. That always makes things good.
That's always better. Dude, I will never drink at that 83 bar again.
that brewery?
The beer, the micro brew. Oh, my God. That shit made me sick. Yeah, I mean, you saw, we were walking out of the place, and I was dizzy. I was literally dizzy. You guys had cocktails. I didn't. Remember, I was drinking Pepsi.
Well, yeah, that's true. I bought your girl a cocktail, and John bought some, and
Yeah, I drank Pepsi after that. We go to this microbrew. I had something called a mosaic.
Okay.
Which, basically I looked around at what everybody else was drinking, and I hate the real dark.
Yeah, the dark beer, yeah.
Thing. So I pointed at what some girl was drinking. I said, I'll take that. And the guy goes, oh, that's a mosaic. Well, okay, well, that's what I'm going to have. This thing tasted like a fucking apple that fell off a tree like 6 weeks ago.
It's almost like a beer cider or something.
It was like a beer cider, but it just tasted like they scraped the mold into the cup off of a rotten apple. It was just this bad apple and moldy tasting shit beer. And I drank it and just was like, within like 20 minutes, I started feeling sluggish and awful. And I never got past it. The whole night, I never got past it. I mean, you saw, I was definitely not my normal, you and John fucking with Finger Guy. You guys were fucking with that guy. No, and we have to talk about that. But you guys, and normally I'm in on that shit. Normally you start doing that shit and I can't be stopped. And I don't think I did one thing. I just sat, watched you guys and laughed.
I realized going to the Keifer show,
yeah,
why I don't like to sit in the audience anymore.
Because you don't like the people?
I just don't like the people. People are so weird when they go to a show of somebody that they worship.
Yeah. Oh, that guy worshipped, all right.
Oh my God.
This guy, I'll sort of set the picture, and you can take it, because it was really you and John just fucking with this guy nonstop. There's a guy, what is it, about 3 rows in front of us?
Yeah, 3 rows.
And he's a big dude. He's a big fat dude like me. Maybe not as fat as me, but he was a big dude.
Yeah, he was a wall.
Yeah, he was a big wall. He's probably 6'2", 6'3", so he was tall. He was taller than anybody else behind him. And, of course, he's stand for the entire show guy.
Yeah.
Just him and his dumb girlfriend, this ugly fucking girlfriend that he had.
And his friend.
And his friend. Yeah, all standing the entire show. Nobody else is standing except for this guy. Tom Keifer's doing Long Cold Winter. This guy's dancing like a fucking maniac. It was embarrassing. But this fat dude, he ended up, he played the fat dude role. He took the outside on the aisle seat, which I do that role too. Take the outside seat so that you have the extra room for your fucking legs.
Right.
Because you're too fat. And believe me, I do this. You take that seat so that you have extra space. Well, this fucking guy never sat down, so he's dancing in the aisle and just acting like an idiot, like he's like these idiots that pretend like they get the cancer healed out of them by the televangelist.
It's a miracle.
I mean, dude, there's enjoying a band. I enjoyed the band. I didn't specifically enjoy Tom Keifer that night. I didn't think he sounded very good. That's neither here nor there. But I enjoyed that show. I enjoyed seeing Tom Keifer. I enjoyed seeing Chips Enough. I enjoyed seeing my friend Billy on a big stage. It was enjoyable. Stood up, clapped when it was appropriate, sang along to the songs as they played them, as did you, as did John, Kelly, most of the crowd, right?
Yeah.
Everybody, there's a way to enjoy a show. Then there's this guy, this fucking douche nozzle, standing up, he's dancing around like an idiot, like he hasn't heard these songs in 35 years, just dancing. And he was doing the thing, a lot of people, they do the thing where they throw the devil horns in the air every once in a while. Every 5 seconds, this guy was doing, I don't know, what would we call it? The broken devil horn or something?
Well, it's just that he was just like throwing up the number 1.
The number 1. So he keeps going with the number 1. And he's dancing around there. He's like, yeah, with the number 1 up in the air. And before long, I look over and there's you and John every 2 seconds. Yeah, with the number one.
I've never seen somebody raise their arm up with a number one through an entire show.
He did it like 300 times.
Yeah, he's just like...
Yeah. And pointing at the stage. He would point at the stage, then he'd point at the sky. Every once in a while, he'd flick up the other finger for the peace sign. You know? But it was mostly the number one or the fist. You know, on the rockin' tunes, he would sometimes pull the finger down and go to a straight fist.
Yeah.
Like his finger was getting tired or something, so he had to give it a rest. What a dick.
It's like, dude, is this your first time out of the house?
I'll bet it was his first concert in 20 years.
Probably.
Had to be. But the funniest part, to me anyway, and I don't know if you told him to do this or John just did on his own, at some point John, our friend John Drake, gets up and starts rocking out with this dude. He walks up the 3 rows, and in the aisle, he's dancing with this dude, and they're both throwing up the number one.
Yeah, well, John was doing it in a mocking way.
Right.
And this guy thought John was just being camaraderie with him.
He thought he was an equally excited fan.
Yeah. So John was just doing it to be a mocking dick.
Exactly. So funny. And John, I was laughing my balls off. John's up there, and they're both throwing up their number ones. John's high-fiving this guy, and they're both putting their number ones in each other's face and stuff. Get the fuck out of here with this shit. Too fucking silly.
Yeah.
Fucking one-finger guy. That guy was something.
It just reminds me why I don't like going to shows anymore.
I know. I hate it. I literally hated that guy from the word go. I hated that guy.
And as long as he was standing, his chick and his friend had to stand.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, and his friend didn't even look like he wanted to stand, but it was like, well, they're standing, so I'll stand.
Well, his friend and the girl left at least 2 or 3 times.
Yeah.
I mean, they went and got drinks. They weren't even into. It didn't even look like they were into the show. Like maybe it was a birthday present for this guy.
No idea.
Like his favorite band must have been Cinderella or something. And Jason in the chat room, I think that dude was autistic. That could be true. Because he was a doofus. Just douche. One finger guy. Too funny, man. Yeah,
it's just more fun to stand on the side of the stage and look out at the people and not have to be in there with them.
Right.
That's where I prefer to be.
Yep, amen.
Hail and kill, caller. You're on the air.
Hey, what's up, guys? It's John.
Hey, John.
I have a real quick addition. I didn't even get to tell you guys this that night, but with the finger guy, I was actually talking to him, too. I hollered at him. I go, "This show fucking rules." He goes, "This is the best." So I'm, of course, like, egging him on, and I hollered at him. I go, "Man, this song is the best ever. I haven't heard Broken Heart Boogie since ¡92. He goes, "Me neither." I'm like, "You fucking idiot." So I had no idea what the hell song it was. I just made something up, and the guy just went with it. Yeah, that's what song this is. I'm like, you fucking dope. So, he was a trip. Yeah, he was such a goober, man. It's like, I mean, Neeley, you and I were sitting there, and the guy stands up. We kind of looked at each other like, you fucking serious? Like, it was like the only 2 guys in the whole place fucking standing.
Yeah, the entire arena is sitting, and this one guy and his chick and his friend have to stand.
Yeah, and then being in the aisle was like, okay, not only are you standing up, but you're blocking people from getting back and forth from their seats. Like, it's like, what the fuck, man? Do you have any decorum? Like, what's wrong with you?
Was he retarded or was he just a dork?
Oh, he was just an idiot, man. He was just rocking out. He was. That's why when I went up to him and I was like, I high-fived him. I go, "Fuck yeah, this is awesome." It's like, "This concert rules." Like, so I kept saying dumb shit to him, like dancing, and I kept my hand in the air the whole time. And that's what I busted out. I was like, I want to see if this guy even knows what the fuck song it is. So I busted out with Broken Heart Boogie, and he's like, yeah. So
Badass.
I didn't know. Yeah, he fucking had no idea what the hell was going on. So I don't know. The worst is he didn't even seem like he was drunk or anything.
Yeah,
he was
just a goober.
Normal to me. Yeah, he was just an idiot.
They let me out of the house. I'm out.
You know what?
Yeah, right?
He's that guy that probably in the 80s bought the big long trench coat and the stupid hat and stood outside the bus trying to look like Tom Keifer so that he could meet Tom Keifer. I'll bet you anything that's that guy.
He probably was.
And
obviously didn't know the songs very well, but
how lazy was Savannah and that other backup singer chick?
Oh, the other backup singer chick was bad enough, but his wife could not have given a shit less. The best part was when you were shaking the tambourine, Neeley, you're like, hey, who am I? And you're like shaking the tambourine, you'd look at your watch, you'd fake the shaking the tambourine, look at your watch. She could not have given a fuck less, man. It was like you said, it was like she was counting the songs until the end of the show. You know, she waited till the middle when she had to get out on piano and do the cute little "I'm married and we're singing to each other" thing, and then it was back to just like, you know, standing there meekly, mildly shaking shit, singing into the microphone until she goes home and gets a paycheck. She's like, what the fuck? I don't know, man. I forgot about that till you mentioned it. They were pretty bored.
they were just lazy.
Like I said, at least the blonde one tried a little bit, but even she was kind of like
she tried. She tried a little bit.
Yeah, it was like she was like, I kind of give a shit, and his wife was like, I couldn't give a fuck less. Like, I'm in fucking Akron, Ohio. Where the hell? What armpit of the country are we in? Like, she was just ready to get back on the fucking bus and go somewhere fun. I don't know.
Get the check. That's all she was thinking. Where do I go to get the check?
Yeah. She just pissed off because Tom's making like $5,000 that night. She's making like a fitty spot.
Well, she's still taking Tom's money. She's sucking his cock.
So. Well, she's probably pissed off because the other backup singer's way hotter than she was.
Amen to that.
Neeley, when you were like
that,
yeah,
the blonde
Neeley
one
goes, oh, that's Tom's.
When we were at the sound check earlier in the day, the blonde one, she sat at the piano in the middle of the stage, just like fucking with her phone. The wife, just fucking with her phone and just being completely disinterested there as well. The blonde one, she was wearing like a pair of yoga pants and just fucking dancing around all. She had way more energy in sound check than she did on the stage that night. She had quite a good ass and camel toe show. It was a good show during sound check. I won't lie about that.
I just remember Neeley going, you know, he pointed to the backing singers. He goes, oh, that's Tom Keifer's wife, Mike. I'm thinking, oh, man, good for him, man. That's a hot blonde. And he says, yeah, the brunette one. I'm like, oh, that's got to suck, looking over there, being like, yeah, I'm going to fuck. No, not that one. I got to fuck the other one. Like, I mean, Savannah's just kind of there, and then there's that hot blonde, you know?
Yep.
It's like, what the fuck? So, all right, no, I just wanted to throw that in because I didn't get to tell you guys that night. But, so, yeah, hail and kill, fuck you, pal. Hand job!
There goes John.
I got to tell you what he did last night, fucking asshole. I should have kept him on the phone for this, but what a dick. So I'm at the comedy show last night. Dave Landau was in town, and you know this.
Do you want to tell the story now, or you want to take a break and come back and tell the whole evening?
Oh, yeah, I guess we've been going an hour and a half.
Yeah. So
that's fine. Yeah.
Save your Landau story, and we'll take a break, and we'll come back, and then you can tell us about all the events from last night.
I definitely have a John story where I wanted to punch him right in his fucking face. Him and Kelly. The two of them both needed a punch right in their fucking face last night during the comedy show. So there's your tease.
All right. Well, Chris went out to see comedian Dave Landau last night, and I've been waiting to hear this story today. So we'll come back. We'll do a couple of songs. So since we went and saw Enough's Enough and some Tom Keifer. I'll play a couple of tunes from them, and we'll come right back. So
what are you playing from Enough's Enough?
I was going to play something from Strength, some Mother's Eyes.
No. Look up Wheels.
Wheels?
Yeah.
From what?
Paraphernalia, maybe, or Seven, or one of them.
All right.
Sure, which one? I'm a wheel, wheels a turn.
All right.
I don't know which album it's from.
I'll look it up here real quick.
Is from. I don't know.
I got it.
Okay, good.
Let's see here. Cue it up.
Seven. It's from Seven.
All right.
There you go.
All right. No issue.
All right, cool.
All right, I got it.
Well, cool.
All right, we'll play a couple of tunes. We'll come right back, and Chris will regale us with some more activities.
Yeah, because Lord knows it was a busy couple of weeks.
Yeah, no kidding. All right, well, here it is. It's Enough's Enough exclusively here
on your classic metal show.
Hey, this is Chip from Enough's Enough, and you're listening to Neeley, my brother, on the Classic Metal Show.